This is a Big Facts Network exclusive.
Never look back when you walking in your purpose. Welcome to Perspective with Bank. Today I got Keli Pitts, the femininity doctor, with me. How you doing, Queen?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Your spirit is just, I'm going to tell you, your spirit is, I usually ask people like a wellness check, like where they mental at. But when you walked in, you just lit the place up. I'm going to give you that. No, you have a great energy,
Thank
right?
you so much.
How did you,
Great compliment, babe.
all right, so I'm going to let you introduce yourself. You know, let us know where you're from. How did you get here? What did you do? You know.
Okay, well, as you said, I'm Keli Pitts, the femininity doctor. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I know I told you that, and you were like, what? But believe it or not, I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised right here. That really makes up so much of who I am, which is a God-fearing, purpose-driven woman who is on assignment to do something great and to help women reclaim their femininity. Speaking of which, what I do is twofold. The first part is studying feminism's impact on women, families, and communities, and then helping women reclaim their femininity so they can attract better and thrive in relationships.
That's dope.
Thank you.
What
so
inspired
much.
you to create the film brand?
Purpose, God. This is just what God has me on assignment to do. So I'm doing it unapologetically. So when I heard very clearly from God, this is what I want you to do in my 20s, I started walking this path.
Okay. How did your background like shape, mold you to be in this position?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I would say I grew up in a rather traditional home. You know, my parents got married. They had 2 kids. They started several businesses. So there was a lot of financial comfort, success, and material things. And you know, I love my parents. I give honor to my parents, but I also talk about the challenges I faced as a young girl, you know, with my parents not doing everything they could to heal their individual traumas before they got married, which they both acknowledge now,
Okay.
and what that looked like being raised up in that, and how, you know, having a very comfortable middle class lifestyle can mask a lot of pain and hurt in a home. But, you know, I always looked feminine. You know, my parents taught me a lot about being a lady, pardon me, but, you know, emotionally and spiritually, there was a lot of pain that got passed down, you know, from them, you know, that they couldn't help but to experience because of their parents and grandparents, and how that misaligned me at a young age, and how I took this journey to healing at 19. And I knew I had to get back in alignment with my femininity, which if you don't have a healed feminine core, you can look as beautiful as you want to,
Facts.
but you don't radiate that feminine energy because you're not, you're a bit broken on the inside. So dealing with a lot of those challenges at home from a very young age, and realizing when I was, you know, heading into my 20s, you know, yes, you look the part, yes, you're beautiful, but there are some things going on within that you need to heal from your childhood. And so I took my journey to healing, and God spoke to me and said, your journey is not just for you, it's for other women. I want you to go first so you can reach back and show women what it's like on the other side of pain and brokenness if they commit themselves to doing the work.
Ooh. Them facts, Queen. No, them facts, because you can't once you go through something, it's your duty to show people how you came out of it.
Oh, yes. Oh,
It's your
yes.
duty. No, them facts. What you think? Why you think that's such a controversial topic though?
Why do I think what is?
Like femininity is like a controversial topic.
Oh, because so many women don't know what it is, and it hurts. So many women are hurting. Nobody wants to hear they're not feminine. Nobody wants to hear that they've been living their lives and so much of what they know is untrue.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Preach.
yeah.
Come on with it.
So it's it's a double-edged sword. So many women long to be feminine because this is what God made you to do and be. You can't ever outrun the desire to be feminine as a female, right? It's your innerness, it's your inbornness, you could say that. But to not be that and to be scared, really so many women are afraid. You know, how do I navigate life not knowing the truth about my design? And how much time have I wasted doing the wrong thing? How much has this really cost me? How many people, has this cost me? Being out of alignment with my female nature.
Do you think people just get comfortable and stuck in their ways?
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's one of the worst. Why do you think so much intergenerational trauma exists? People are stuck. And then they just pass down what they know to the next generation.
Wow. Wow. Nah, that's dope. What I say, I got a lot of questions for you. Can you elaborate on your niche in feminine theory and the impact of second wave feminism on marriage and family?
Of course. Well, that is the niche. There are so many branches in feminist theory. Mine just so happens to be the impact that second wave feminism has had on the breakdown of courtship, marriage, and family. I mean, even before we get to marriage and family, how feminism has impacted the relationships between men and women just in the dating realm. It's because it's everywhere. That is the problem.
How do you balance being a doctor and just actually your own stuff that you be dealing with? How you balance that?
So I'm not a physician. The Femininity Doctor, and thank you for asking that, by the way, is a brand name. But I am an author, sociologist, feminist theorist, and digital entrepreneur. But doctor, there might be a future in the marriage and family space.
Do you help people though?
Of course, God gives us spiritual gifts. That's in Corinthians, and some of us do have the gift of healing, and I believe that's one of my spiritual gifts.
No,
healing.
I can agree.
I'm too passionate about it.
So how do you balance trying to teach it? Because I'm big on I don't like to speak nothing unless I'm living it. You see what I'm saying? Because we know better sometimes, but don't do better.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit I don't say. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't really standing on it. You know what I'm saying? And until I tap in, I can talk about change. Now I can talk about diet, and I can talk about those things because I'm actually standing on it. But certain things that I know about, but I don't use myself, I just stay away from it. So how you balance that?
So you want to know how I balance teaching femininity with? Could you repeat the question?
Basically, I'm saying how do you practice what you preach? How do you remain practicing what you're preaching?
Oh, of course. Genuinely having the desire to want to be better every single day and not going easy on myself at all. And Jesus Christ is at the center of that. He's always holding me accountable to make sure I'm practicing what I preach. And when I first got started as the Femininity Doctor, I didn't realize how impactful I was. I mean, and even when I would go outside to the grocery store, people would expect me to look feminine. And at first I'm like, oh, I don't understand, the big deal, or I would just be out with friends or just with friends inside and wanting to be myself. But I didn't realize how many people looked up to me, even in my own circle, and expected me to always wear that hat.
Yeah.
So now it's definitely something that I'm mindful of, having this big brand and not taking it for granted because women do need an example. They do need hope.
Exactly.
So just making sure that I'm always my best because people are watching.
What's the challenges though?
The challenge. The challenge, remembering that I'm human. But at the very moment, the challenges are less with people and more with the spirit realm, right? The devil being very upset that I know who I am and I know what I'm supposed to do. And I'm not letting up on that. So those are the challenges currently, battling the devil, battling the enemy who wants me to give up because he does not want women healed. He does not want women to return to true femininity.
What's your triggers?
My triggers? I don't have a lot of triggers. Dishonesty, though. Dishonesty. People not being loyal. But I would say dishonesty and disloyalty, I think, are probably my triggers.
So do all feminine women desire a masculine man, or can they date a beta?
I think. I think that. I believe that the feminine core in the feminine woman who's being honest with herself desires a masculine man. 100%. We're looking for our complement. You know, it's an energy, it's an innerness, it's a pull. So I don't see how she can, or a feminine woman cannot desire a masculine man. What's so funny? You laugh at me a lot.
No, I'm saying it's because you answered the question correctly. Like, because it's like most women,
doctor.
no, I'm saying, but most women that's masculine, they can't deal with a masculine dude.
Because they're misaligned.
Yeah, so
There's-
if a woman is in touch with her feminine side, she's gonna want a man, right?
Oh, of course. It's truly just a pull. It's a natural attraction. You know, and can I be honest? Even
Go ahead.
masculine women, when they're allowing themselves to be honest, and when they're willing to heal those parts within themselves, they too desire masculine men. The masculine woman is not living in the lines. She's not living in her truth. So she thinks that she can not to be with a masculine man, but the truth about who she is does desire a masculine man. Okay. It's like she's just not healed enough to really, really get that right.
What role does submission play in like building a strong, healthy relationship?
Oh my goodness, did you look at my pillars? Submission goes both ways. As a Christian, I do know that. So do you mean what role does submission play for a woman in healthy relationships?
Just break down both sides. If it go both ways.
Well, yeah, the Bible says, and, not to be all super religious, I respect that not everybody's Christian, but the Bible teaches that submission does go both ways. A man is to submit to a woman and understanding that she is the weaker vessel. She is the more gentle vessel. So be sensible about that. Submit to her needs, be loving, as Christ loved the church, right? But a woman is supposed to submit to a man's leadership and his authority. Not every man. Obviously, a woman has to have some sort of vetting process and inner discernment where she can tell this is not somebody healthy and whole I should be submitting to. But if a man's leadership over time you've observed is fair and just, I think then submitting to him is absolutely necessary. A healthy masculine man, will require a submission from a woman without even saying it. He knows that's what his masculinity or his masculine core needs in order to lead properly. How can a man lead a woman if she is incooperative and unwilling?
Correct. Mm-hmm. What you think the struggles is of like modern day society? What you think the struggles is in modern relationships?
What do I think or what do I know?
What do you know? I'm sorry. What do you know?
Absolutely. The breakdown of the family. 100%. And really the redefining of gender and gender roles. God made man, and God made woman. And he has a design for man and woman because he understands the nature of both and what it takes to be a successful society. But when you start redefining what God said, and when you start being too socially ambitious, then everything breaks down. So that is the problem, which is why I'm so passionate about the feminist movement and what it has really done to uproot godliness and traditional values out of society here in the American West. That is the problem.
Where you think it went left at?
when the sexual revolution hijacked feminism in 1967, and the feminist movement went from being about rights and opportunities for women to preaching the message that a woman's true liberation is found in the hypersexualization, career idolization, and independence of herself, teaching women that being socially ambitious is more important than being kingdom ambitious. What's in the best interest of society and even yourself, if you're being honest, versus here's what you should go and do because here's what the government says your true liberation is found in, when really I just need to tax you and make you hate your man and pull you out of the home.
You said it happened in 1967?
1967.
What was it like? What was it? What was it that happened?
So the feminist, which the organization was called NOW at the time, the National Organization of Women. I haven't looked at the name in so long. But NOW was the official feminist movement in the American West in the 60s. Their agenda was to come together to vote on things that would be presented to Congress, so they came up with a Women's Bill of Rights. Now, there were two gentlemen, or a group of gentlemen, who really wanted to pull housewives out of the home because they weren't taxable, really, and also break down, the family. People don't want to believe that, but it's true. So, they really, as I understand it, bullied the mother of feminism, Betty Friedan, out of the original goal of feminism, which was to just continue on with equal rights for women, equal pay, equal jobs, upward mobility in academia, the workforce, and all of those great things that any of us could agree a woman or women deserved. But by the time that weekend ended, the feminist movement had been hijacked by the agenda of the sexual revolution, which was really to uproot us from our traditional values in the American West. And so, when you see the hypersexualization of women, when you see women walking around, in lingerie, when you see women, proudly, naked, that's the sexual revolution that took over feminism in the late 60s. And abortion was a big part of that because they were preaching the message to women that children and husbands were obstacles to success. So if you want this equality with men, then how do you eliminate the chance of getting pregnant, right? So because that's what's stunting your growth in academia and the workforce, right? A pregnancy. So telling women that being more like men and aspiring to the things that men aspire to has definitely broken down society, dating, marriage, and the family.
But so that was the agenda, to break it down.
100%, 100%. People think that we're still celebrating the 1848 feminist movement. The feminist movement hasn't been about rights, equality, and personhood in almost 60 years.
Okay.
So that's the academic side of what I do. And we've got so many relationship podcasts today, and everybody's really talking about the, what do you call that? The symptoms, or what happened, but people aren't addressing the root. So that's why I'm proud of my work in this next book I'm producing, to really expose what's underneath feminism, because it's not what we think it is, especially how it's impacted the Black family, because we were hardest hit by the feminist movement.
Facts.
And our families are the bottom of the totem pole across the board.
Do you think social media made it worse?
Oh, of course.
In what way?
Well, opportunities, access, options, and then again, everything is so sexual these days. So giving the sexual revolution, aka feminism, a bigger platform. How is, and I'm not just putting this on men, but how are people to be focused and disciplined in their marriages or even in dating if they can just scroll up and see about 20 good-looking men and about 50 naked women? You're right. So now the sexual revolution has a digital platform that reaches the masses, and without leaving the couch. So
What steps do you think like a woman, like if you had a woman that asked you like, how do I get started? What steps would you tell her to take? What's the first initial step? And so on and so on.
if she wanted to reclaim her femininity,
Yes.
okay, I would definitely, to tie this all together, I would say understanding that the breakdown of the family has led us to a lot of consequences. So many women haven't seen true femininity because they grew up with mothers in the masculine role, and then they didn't have a father around to show them the masculine. So introspection, examining your own thoughts and feelings about where you are today and what's actually going on. So getting honest with yourself. And then retrospection, looking back over your childhood and understanding how that has shaped you. Women who struggle, I've had the opportunity to serve thousands of women without fail. Every time I work with a woman, especially one-on-one, when I talk to her about why she's not feminine today, we start walking backwards to her childhood, and we always find the issue. And that makes sense because from 0 to 17 are formative years. This is who we're going to be, right? So if you didn't get that example of femininity in part or in full, and my goodness, especially if there was no masculine to, complement the feminine, then, naturally you're lost. So examining, retrospection, and then, really being serious about doing what it takes to change the narrative. Wiping the slate clean is what I call it in my courses. And then learning the truth about masculinity and femininity, which is why I made these roadmaps for women.
Do you think like it shifted, like, cause a lot of guys acting feminine now?
Of course. Well, one of the goals of the feminist movement was to make men more human. Women back then thought that men were callous and oppressive, and that was their nature, which, is sad because all of the founders of feminism had daddy's issues. So their natural disdain for men gave them all these blinders. But, softening the man was an agenda of feminism.
Wow.
Of course. Let's masculinize the woman, soften the man, and confuse the child.
Oh, so you saying basically when they started the movement had a whole agenda to make the woman more, make it what it is today, basically.
Absolutely. And oh my gosh, I could talk about this all day. Even the fathers of abortion, right? We have abortion because of men. Do you understand the tool? The goal of abortion was to take the control of family planning and sizes out of the hands of men completely. And who does God say is in charge of the family? The man. So much about everything about feminism is to dethrone the man and make him more feminine and passive, and to push the woman out front. That was to give women the sole voice in family planning and sizes was the goal of contraception as well. This entire movement and everybody connected to it has a goal of dethroning the man, because if you weaken men, you weaken a society, right? There you go. So yes, men are more feminine today. We're not imagining that.
Nah, for real. So do you think, well, do you know, I ain't gonna start asking you, do you know do you think most women know that that's what they're doing when they embrace the feminine movement?
No, of course not. Like I said, women still think that we're celebrating first wave feminism or the suffragette movement, which was founded in 1848. They have no idea that feminism has shifted. And they're not supposed to know that feminism has shifted. I mean, nobody will... If you tell women, yeah, we want to break down the family and we want to use you to do it, most women would probably turn away from feminism. But it's this thing where you have to keep it quiet. You know how certain celebrities or people start companies and then they have to sell, and the company gets too big, but they get to remain the face of the company. Well, that's the same thing as feminism. A bunch of men really own and operate feminism, but women are the face of it.
A bunch of men own it?
A bunch of men really, own and operate feminism. Women haven't been in control of feminism since the 60s. Yeah.
So how do they get money? Like, how they get money? They raise money. How they get money off of it?
Well, I'm not going to pretend like I know how feminists raise money. I guess, charity and outreach and all those things. But women don't know who and what's really behind feminism. It's not even controlled by women anymore.
So let me ask you something. What's the difference in what you do and what they doing?
What I do and what feminists do?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm a conservative feminist. So I am a feminist. I'm just a pro-family feminist. I'm not a mainstream feminist. I don't believe that men and women are the same. I don't believe men and women are put here to do the same thing. I believe in gender. I believe in gender roles. I believe in the natural nuclear family, and I believe in God. I'm traditional. I'm not more on the progressive side of feminism. So it's very different. They don't believe in gender roles. They don't believe that women deserve special protections. That's the Equal Rights Amendment to destroy gender and gender discrimination, when really, what you're saying is men and women are the same. They can do the exact same things, and we should not honor that men and women are different. They have different roles, and everybody's role is what it is for a reason. I'm not saying women can't do what men do, but at what cost?
Telling you.
Why do you want to be like a man? Why do you want his societal burdens to protect, lay down his life, to lead, to provide? Why do you want that? Why do you want to be combative? You're not even built for combat. I don't believe that. And God doesn't believe that.
What would you tell a couple, like if you had a couple that was struggling with roles, what would you tell them?
What are your roles?
You know what I'm saying? Like if you had a couple that was struggling, like his wife want to be masculine. He don't want, he's already a masculine man. And you know what I'm saying? What would you tell them?
Wow, I would want to get into the mind and heart of that woman and explore why she wants to be masculine and how she believes she's going to be successful operating in a space God didn't make her to operate in. If God wanted her to be masculine, he would have made her a male. So how do you expect to be misaligned or out of alignment with your nature and be successful?
Some of these women are being successful, but
In
you saying that's not.
relationships.
Oh, you saying relationships?
And
Yeah.
because you said,
Yeah,
if I have a
my
couple,
bad.
how do you expect to be successful in a relationship, not even fulfilling your divine role, your nature, your natural role?
Do you think when like, just say for instance, if a woman just not focus on a man, she focus on her career, do you think that makes her more hard for her to find like a husband afterwards? You know, like in the beginning, like I'm focused on me, I'm focused on this, and then they go get the money. Do you think that hurts them?
With this generation of men, I think it depends on the kind of man she desires to marry. I think if she has a goal of marrying a provider man one day, I think it might hurt her. But if she's not looking to marry a traditional man, then probably not. But again, I don't believe we should be looking to be. I don't think we should be socially ambitious to the point, because that's what's breaking down society today. Everybody's going after, material things, or the bag, or the money, or this and that, and it's like, that wasn't our grandparents' and parents' agenda. Their goal was to get married and start families and build together. Mm-hmm. And it was more successful than what we're doing. The marriage rate is a record low for the country. We're at a rate of 6. That's 6 married couples per 1,000 people. Mm-hmm. Whereas when our parents and grandparents were coming up, it was 16, 18, 21. I think we're looking out for self too much and not what's good for society.
What advice would you give a woman that was seeking a masculine man?
Work on yourself. Heal your feminine core. And that masculine core will be drawn to you without a problem. Now, is he your husband? Well, that just depends on, I believe God. But at least having the opportunities and increasing the likelihood of you attracting many masculine men will improve. So heal your feminine core, and that's where, I come in and talking to women about how I did it.
How important do you think it is to like have faith and believe in God and spirituality? How important do you think that is to create your feminine?
Oh my goodness, very important. So in my pillars, piety is one of them. Piety was one of the 4 true virtues of womanhood when America was, or when America really leaned into those Judeo-Christian theologies and Victorian morality. Piety was a thing that Victorian morality pushed. And, just being a Judeo-Christian nation, I don't see how a woman can be feminine and truly understand her role and what God expects of her without God. He made you. He knows you.
Why do you believe that domesticity is essential
Eventually.
to strengthening family and society?
Because there's the working sphere or the productive sphere in the world, and then there's a resting and recharging sphere. People need that. People have basic needs, and having a space where there's comfort, love, food, family, and safety, that's important.
Yeah.
And again, when we look at my pillars, that was expected of women, pre-World War II, to create a space for your, what did it say? Your world-weary husband. He needed that place to come back to get charged up, be fed and loved, and go back in the world and do what he does all over again.
Facts.
Yeah, it's like a car. You need to get the domestic sphere is like the gas station. A car can only go so long without being recharged.
What's the qualities of a strong feminine core?
Qualities of a strong feminine core. I would say gentle, quiet, soft, meek, gracious, grateful, definitely caring, compassionate.
How many of them it is? I ain't seen none. How many women? How many of them left with all that? How many women left with all that right there? What you just called?
Well, according to men, finding a woman like that would be a needle in a haystack. Would be like a needle in a haystack. But that soft and loving, truly warm spirit. That's what I believe in.
What do you think turn them like rotten on the inside? What you think turn women rotten?
Changing the nature of women. Again, I take this back to feminism, which is why there are 2 aspects of what I do, the scholarly aspect and then the self-help aspect. Telling women that being women was one of the biggest, telling women, that being women was a mistake and that there's more freedom and success in masculinity, that was a mistake. Making women feel bad about being women was a mistake. Mm-hmm. So, at first it started out like, go be sexually free, go be liberal and liberated, and men get to do this, men get to have all the fun. We're tired of being controlled by men. We're tired of being oppressed. Well, go get a career, go get an advanced degree, go get a degree. Well, that's first. It started out as just striving to get, physical things, right, that the masculine would have, like the sexually free lifestyle, the job, the career. But over time, that changes the inside, right? You're in a masculine sphere. You are striving to do things that men do, and then you don't trust or like men because that's the message that's also being pushed out by the feminist movement. They oppress you. They don't respect you. They don't like you, right? And well, that that you hear enough of that. Well, women become hardened. I don't want to be a woman, and I definitely don't like and trust them. So it's like, well, there goes femininity.
Do you think men play a part in that though? I think men play a healthy part in that. Like, cause you can meet a woman that's nice at her core, and then you see her as she got through dealing with this dude, she's different.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I believe men also have a role to play in the breakdown of masculinity. Of course, they do. You know, in the breakdown of the family, so many men haven't seen healthy masculinity. So many men haven't seen healthy femininity. Right, especially in the minority communities, is our single parenthood rates are I think that the highest in the Black community. Wasn't always that way, but so I don't know what it's like to be a healthy man because I've never seen that, and I don't know what it's like to treat a woman with dignity and decency and love and compassion and gentility, because I didn't see a man do that, and my mom was not the best example of a feminine woman, so I genuinely don't know. So yes, I believe there are men who definitely turn women sour, or they have the potential to at least.
You're right.
Yeah.
What's been the most rewarding part of just this whole journey and your brand?
Seeing women who I've helped get back to the core of who they truly are and go on and be in healthier relationships. Some of them married. I've had women come back to me and say, I tweaked that thing and I got married. I found my person. So that's been rewarding. And also healing myself on the journey. Not everybody can manage their own healing, but doing so much of my own healing by being self-taught by way of the King, Jesus Christ, has been truly rewarding.
How do you see, where you see your brand in the next 5 years?
Definitely another book on the table. Grad school for me, marriage and family therapy, and creating more digital products for women to heal and get back to the core of who they are, more retreats, more just an expanded space for women to reclaim their femininity.
Okay.
For sure.
What partnerships you excited about this year?
What partnerships? Is still so early. I don't really, I can't say. Some I just can't say. But there are some things cooking. I don't really have anything I can speak on right now.
Okay. Let me see. How does empowering women contribute to rebuilding the family unit?
Well, how do you get to family? A man and a woman.
Yeah.
Right? I believe when women heal and get back to the core of who they are, true femininity, I believe men will follow. Mm-hmm. There are healthy masculine men already who want healthy feminine women. So when women get realigned, I believe we'll see an uptrend in healthy courtship, healthy marriages, and family. Because I'm not going to ignore the fact that women have unrealistic expectations. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to ignore the fact that there are a lot of masculine women out there who have that desire to be with a masculine man for marriage, but they're not there yet themselves.
What do you think, what was the most challenging part of just growing your whole platform? What
was the most challenging part?
And did you ever have any doubts, moments like where you were doubting yourself and wanted to stop?
Recently, from 2021 to 2024, I took a great loss. A lot of losses, actually. Losing both grandparents, the company running into a marketing firm that did not deliver, on some things, so the growth being stunted. So a lot happened there that slowed me down and broke my confidence. And, just even the spiritual realm, like I said, the devil knows who you are. He doesn't want me healing women. So those have been some challenges and obstacles of growing my brand and stunting the growth. So I definitely had moments of doubt. Like, I don't think I know what I'm doing anymore. I feel lost. But this year, God really spoke and said, I want you to get back to the core of why you started doing this. It's not about a relationship with a man, it's about a woman getting healed first. I want you to be the femininity doctor. Leave the relationship sphere alone. That's a separate part. Everybody's got an opinion about relationships. Your goal, your job, your calling, your mission is to help women realign with their femininity, because then everything will fall in place for them.
I agree.
So I definitely at the end of last year and at the top of this year felt lost. Like, why am I doing this? You know, I feel like I don't know who I am in this anymore. So I've had those moments.
How did you reclaim though?
How did I reclaim? Prayer and fasting.
Okay.
Just really getting honest with God, crying out so much, like, what happened to me? You know what I mean? Why
Yeah.
is the devil so mad at me? Why did I go through so much spiritual warfare? What am I going to do that he is so afraid of? And how do I get back to helping women and really listening to God and letting him speak? And he did. He said, I want you to talk to women about how they got misaligned. Let's start there. So recently I started talking about father wounds. And this week I'm talking about mother wounds, because so much women who struggle with their femininity in adulthood usually experienced things in their childhood, right? Our parents raised us, right? So if there are some challenges in our adulthood lives, it's because of some things they did not get in their childhood. So talk from a space of honesty, truth, and experience. So that's what it was.
Nah, that's dope. I got this segment where I do like answer a word with a word. So I give you a word and you just answer a word with a word.
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
Male.
You said male?
Male.
Female.
Female. I'm saying female. That's the next word.
Female. Oh, love.
Wow. Family.
God.
Marriage.
Beautiful.
Submission.
That's my word.
Oh, okay. Clarity.
Necessary.
Pure.
Beautiful.
Domestic.
Essential.
Relationship.
Progression.
Healing.
Non-negotiable.
Reality.
Mic check.
Identity.
Everything.
Nature.
Truth.
Womanhood.
Powerful.
Sisterhood.
Necessary.
Empowerment.
Also necessary.
Transformation.
Also necessary.
Gender.
Essential.
Alignment.
Productive.
Balance.
Key.
Authentic.
Beautiful.
Vulnerability.
Also beautiful.
Partnership.
Necessary.
Tradition.
Necessary.
Influence.
Blessing.
Community.
Necessary.
Legacy.
Ultimate.
Masculinity.
Blessing.
Femininity.
Also a blessing.
Perspective.
Bank.
What word stuck out to you out of all those words? Can you remember one?
Legacy.
Legacy. Why?
That means when I think of legacy, I think of family. I think of last name, and last name means so much to me. When I think of getting married, I can't wait to serve my husband and his last name.
Wow.
You know how people say legacy is what drives me, or I'm always thinking about the last name, or I hustle for my last name. I'm there. That's his last name. How can we make him proud, his lineage, his legacy?
Okay. That's dope. I got another segment I do called Book of the Week, and I see you got 3. You got Doctor's Order, The Problem Has Found the Name, Beating Heart, right?
The Problem Has Found a Name is the one I'm researching for. I have currently written Doctor's Orders and Beating Heart.
Okay, let's break down Doctor's Orders first.
It's a guide for helping modern women reclaim their femininity. So, how do I get back home to self?
Okay.
What is the truth?
You said, how do I get home?
That's the book. That's
okay.
what the book is about.
Yeah.
How do I get back home to self? My feminine self. Got me back. What does that look like? For what I knew it to be back then.
Okay, so could you break the book down? Like if you just get the back of the book, can you break it down for us?
Wow. I wrote Doctor's Orders in 2020, and I published it in 2021. It's been a while. But the bulk of it is healing, forgiveness, understanding what femininity is, and, getting excited at the end. There's something in there about masculine and male relationships, getting excited about men, because we do need men. We need each other. So that's pretty much what Doctor's Orders is about. All of the essentials for what I knew femininity to be back then. I've evolved so much.
And the other one is what? The Problem Has Found.
Beating Heart is the one that I've already written. It's not published. I'm thinking about publishing it, on Amazon. So if you want to purchase it, I'm reworking my site. It'll be on the site eventually, but you can also reach out to me at info@thefemdocbrand.com. But Beating Heart is a book that I wrote to tell women the 14 heart battles I was dealing with that kept me cut off from my femininity or were affecting my feminine core. It was beautiful to me because God told me to really write, tell women all the things that were in your heart that were keeping you cut off from true femininity, like anger, unforgiveness, jealousy, envy, lust, and similar things, and what women need to do to get those things out of their heart so that they can live a truly aligned feminine life. Mm-hmm. So that's what Beating Heart is about. And it's not necessarily about when your heart beats, it's like beating, overcoming heart. These are heart battles. These are matters of the heart. And you must do what it takes to get these things out of your heart because they're keeping you stuck. They're keeping you blocked.
Facts.
So that's what beating heart is. Beating the state of your own heart.
Nah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So don't never, because I always say that once you close your heart, you can't receive love or give love, right?
No. And if you're not willing to deal with what's in your heart, at least take a look at it, then good luck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's speak about the retreats. It's Womanly and Wine Country.
Yes, Womanly and Wine Country is coming up in May. It's special because I've grown so much. Like I said, 21 to 2024. Those were challenging years, but I needed to be soft and humbled and renewed. So I love who I've become today. Just more aware, more informed, and better positioned to appreciate, connect, and educate. So Wine Country is going to be a transformative retreat for sure. More womanly.
What should they expect?
Oh my goodness. Emotion, like an emotional experience, but in a good way.
Okay.
Women want to get free. So coming to a beautiful place like Wine Country is already an experience. But to know that you're going to be in the company of somebody who understands you, because I am like you, I'm made from the same stuff as you, and I've been through what you've been through, that's special.
How if somebody wants to sign up, what would they sign up at?
So you can click the link tree on any of my social medias, and Womanly and Wine Country will come right up.
Okay. What do you want women to understand about the value of femininity in the world today?
There's nothing else like it. God made woman because man could not be alone. He could not. God never said that a woman could not be alone. A man cannot reach his potential, I believe his fullest potential, without a woman. What does that say about you and what your uniqueness is and how special your role is in all of this? Mm-hmm. Right? the love we give, the way we soften, comfort, compassion, you know, the compassion that we're capable of giving, you know, the ease that we bring to things, you know, the lighter side, the joy, the calm, you know, all of that. I'm like, why would you ever want to be anything else? What you have to offer is so unique. It's essential. Womanhood is essential. Imagine a world where there was just men, all this aggression, all this anger, all this violence. And I'm not saying that men are bad people, but when we look at testosterone, which is the driving sex hormone in males, that is what testosterone makes you like.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? So, you know, men and the world, they need that softer, calming, smooth, loving perspective.
But these women gotta be soft though.
Of course they do. That's where I come in, and that's where my work comes in. And women understanding, look, you do not want to be that. I do not want to be a man. I don't want to be you. I don't want your interness. I don't want your societal roles. I just don't enjoy being a protector, a leader, a provider, someone who is called to lay down his life. You know, and that burden being on me, I don't enjoy that. So helping women to understand that, listen, what they have is not better than what you have. Who they are is not better than who you are. What they do is not better than what God has put you here to do.
What about the women who feel like they forced in that position?
That's unfortunate. And why are you forced in that position? I know the answer to that, but do you? Let's talk about it. And how can we get you back home? You should not be forced in a masculine position. I understand it happens. I do.
Okay, let's have a conversation. I'm gonna speak for one. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, I'm all I got. I'm all my kids got. What do? How can I be feminine when all I can do, I gotta get up, I gotta go to work, I gotta come home, I gotta clean up, I gotta do all that shit.
First of all, I'm so sorry that all of this is on you. Why is all of this on you? What decisions did you make for this to be on you?
I left my baby dad. I said, fuck this nigga, fuck that nigga, and it's just me now.
So what's going on with you to where you can't attract a healthy relationship with a healthy masculine man? Everything starts with you.
Most of these niggas just some bullshit.
That's not you. That's you pointing the finger away from you. What's going on with you?
That's how you say it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they'll get it. You said like you said it so soft. You think
that's the thing about that's why I love my work. It's you're forced to reflect. If you point the finger away from yourself, you will be lonely for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What is going on with you?
Preach that shit.
Why can't we transform the core? I've done it. What do we need to do to get you healthy, happy, and back home so that you can attract something that is working for you? I don't believe all hope is lost because a woman has kids. I've seen women with kids get remarried and have some help because
for sure.
They healed themselves. They became better people. So what's going on with you?
So basically, you saying, to break it down before we get out of here, you saying basically a healed woman is going to attract whatever is for her.
I believe that. I do.
I believe that too.
I've seen it.
I believe that too.
There was this argument, you know, there was a past influencer who we all know, you know, who believed that, you know, single women are a lost cause. I know that's not true. I've seen single women find love again with healthy masculine men because they became healthy feminine women. But it took a lot of self-reflecting, healing, and reclaiming the truth about themselves.
So you can't heal without accountability.
No. It's everything. What did Bishop Jay-Z say? You can't heal what you don't reveal. He's, you know, that's on point.
Yeah.
And to even want to heal means what? You had to get honest with yourself about the fact that there's something wrong. That's accountability.
No, I had to do the same thing. Once you look, that mirror is a cold place to look at.
It is, but it's the best place.
It is.
To look at.
So, all right, let's break it down.
Sure.
Heal your core.
Of course.
Your life change.
Yes.
That's for females. I think that's for men too, though.
That's for men too.
Yeah, you heal your core, and you gotta. I feel like you can't give a fuck about what nobody else think about you.
No, but you, as in the real version.
The
of you.
real version of you, not the made up version. Yeah,
not the
exactly.
made up version, not the toxic version, not the version that's got all these negative things going on. Because what do people say? Take me for who I am. You your bad habits are not who you are.
Facts.
Those are bad habits that you've developed over time for whatever reason.
Yeah.
We're talking about the healed, healthy, aligned version of you. That's take me for who I am. Let's get clear on that.
Yeah. Okay, you said so how important it is to be around the right people to heal,
Everything.
to have the right company.
Everything. It is everything. Do you know, I know people today who are stuck. These people in their 50s and 60s, because everybody around them is like them, not willing to challenge them, hold them accountable, or even hold the mirror to their face. Everybody's like you. Of course, they don't see a problem with what you do and how you are. Right?
Yeah. You preaching.
Yeah.
You preaching. You should be the feminine preacher. The femininity preacher. Nah, because I feel like, and it's just me, and I ain't just speaking on women because I don't like to seem like I'm whatever you call them, dudes who against women, because I love women.
Yeah.
But I just feel like as a person, until you clear your heart, what'd you say, till you beat your heart, what'd you call it?
Till you overcome your heart, till you beat heart.
Yeah, till you
Beating
beat
heart.
heart, you know what I'm saying? Until you clean your gut, clean your mental space. You really fake. You really
Yeah.
fake. If you ain't cleaned yourself out, bro, and looked at yourself for exactly who you is, you really faking.
And not all faking is intentional.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I had to put it out there so people can understand, like, look at it, like, ask themselves, am I faking or am I being me?
That's a good question. And I said all faking is not intentional because people tense up when you call them fake. And it's like, I'm not saying that you're faking on purpose. I'm just saying that this is not who you truly are. This is a representative.
Mm-hmm. What do you think create representatives?
Pain, trauma.
Yeah. It's like a
Fear.
wall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But at the root of fear and so many other things, I believe, is unhealed trauma or unhealed trouble, unaddressed things. So now to go and be liked or accepted, I've got to go and pile on some stuff that looks and feels better.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, not the burp.
Take it to
The bubbles.
You say it's piled on trauma that's what now?
I think people create representatives knowingly and unknowingly because they haven't healed their inner child. And they know, sometimes they know, or they feel what they're really going through and how that makes them show up in the world isn't likable. So they create more likable versions of themselves or representatives.
Do you think, I can ask questions all night, but I'm gonna ask one more. Do you think a healed person can help you heal?
Of course.
No, I'm saying like in relationships, like if you met a guy that was fucked up, no, for real, but you see the potential in him. Do you think you can help him understand what he's going through? Like help him.
You can. I believe you can help an unhealed person understand what they're going through. Is that all you mean by that? Helping them understand it?
I'm saying help them come out of it. Like, but
Of
that takes a
course.
lot of patience, though, right?
It just depends on where they are in their level of accountability, vulnerability, and willingness.
They gotta want it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I can't help you if you don't even think that there is an issue or you're not willing to do what it takes to get healed at all costs. Another thing I talk about in my courses, you have to really be willing to do what it takes to get healed. There is no other way. If you don't want this, then what are we even doing? You're gonna pull me back.
Facts.
You're gonna slow me down.
When it's all said and done, what you want your legacy to read when you're gone away from this earth and they researching you, what you wanted to read?
Happier, healthier women, men and children. Happier, healthier families. I help rebuild the family.
Nah, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, anytime. It's an open door policy, so whenever you're ready to come back, you just let me know.
I like like that.
Let them know where to follow you at and where to buy your book, where to come, everything, what they need to do.
So I do have the sad part is I have a site, but I hate it. So I refuse to release it. I recently had someone rework it. But for now, all of my social media sites, there's a link tree in the bio. So just go to the Femininity Doctor. You can search it, on Facebook, Instagram, mostly Facebook and Instagram. And click the link tree in my bio. There are my courses, books, and retreats.
There we have it, the Femininity Doctor.
Make
sure y'all go to the Big Fact Network, like, subscribe, comment to the Big Fact Network. Till next time.
All right.